Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa, Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're also paying our humble Dandavat Pranam to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for providing us this wonderful commentary and translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. And following the guidance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we are praying to Srimati Radharani. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati told us that unless we can learn something about Srimati Radharani within the 18,000 verses of Bhagavatam, then our study has been for waste if we haven't done that. So, in this way, we're praying for the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Yadi seva vanchitasya ma, yasya kripaya vayam labhima, sarvam prapnuma prayojanam, damni Shri Bhagavat pade, Krishna sambandhi sarvam cha, yadina janimahe tutam, ashtadashasu sahasreshu, shlokanam Bhagavat oktishu, radharanim navindamatara, Nishphalam Bhagavatadhyayanam Radhikaya Kripam Vina Vyartasyat Sarva Parishrama. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Radharani within the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, then our study of Bhagavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, all our efforts are in vain. So we are continuing our reading today from Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, Chapter 30, the activities of the Pracetās, text 35. Yatredyante kata mrishtas Trishnaya prashamoyata nirvairam yatra bhuteshu nodvego yatra kashana. Whenever pure topics of the transcendental world are discussed, the members of the audience forget all kinds of material hankerings, at least for the time being. Not only that, but they are no longer envious of one another, nor do they suffer from anxiety or fear. Purport. Vaikuntha means without anxiety, and the material world means full of anxiety. As stated by Prahlad Maharaj, Sada Sambudvigna Diham Asad Grahat. The living entities who have accepted this material world as a residence are full of anxiety. A place immediately becomes Vaikuntha whenever the holy topics of the personality of Godhead are discussed by pure devotees. This is the process of Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, chanting and hearing about the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. As the Supreme Lord himself confirms, Naham Tisthami Vaikunthe Yoginam Hridayeshuva Tatra Tishtami Narada Yatra Gayanti Madbhakta. My dear Narada, actually I do not reside in my abode, Vaikuntha, nor do I reside within the hearts of the yogis, but I reside in the place where my pure devotees chant my holy name and discuss my form, pastimes, and qualities. Because of the presence of the Lord in the form of the transcendental vibration, the Vaikuntha atmosphere is evoked. This atmosphere is without fear and anxiety. One living entity does not fear another. By hearing the holy names and the glories of the Lord, a person executes pious activities. Shrunat Vasva Kata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Bhagavatam 1.2.17. Thus, his material hankerings immediately stop. The Sankirtan movement started by the Society for Krishna Consciousness is meant for creating Vaikuntha, the transcendental world that is without anxiety even in this material world. The method is the propagation of Shravanam Kirtanam process throughout the world. In the material world, everyone is envious of his fellow man. Animalistic envy exists in human society as long as there is no performance of Sankirtan Yajna, the chanting of the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The Pracetās, therefore, decided to remain always in the society of devotees, and they considered that to be the highest benediction possible in human life. Text 36. Yatra Narayana Sakshad Bhagavan Yasinam Gati Samstuyate Satkatasu Mukta Sangai Puna Puna. The Supreme Lord Narayan is present among devotees who are engaged in hearing and chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Narayan is the ultimate goal of sannyasis, those in the renounced order of life, and Narayan is worshipped through the Sankirtan movement by those who are liberated from the material contamination. Indeed, they recite the holy name again and again. Purport. The Mayavadi sannyasis are missing the real presence of Narayan. This is because they falsely claim to be Narayan himself. According to the customary etiquette of Mayavadi sannyasis, they address one another as Narayan. To say that everyone is a temple of Narayan is correct, but to accept another human being as Narayan is a great offense. The conception of Daridra Narayan, poor Narayan, an attempt to identify the poor with Narayan is also a great offense. Even to identify Narayan with demigods like Brahma and Lord Shiva is an offense. Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivatai Samat Vinaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhavedrivam. One who considers Lord Narayan on the level with great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva is immediately listed among non-believers. The fact is that by performing Sankirtan Yajna, one can immediately please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Narayan himself descends and immediately is present. In this age of Kali, Narayan is immediately present in the form of Lord Chaitanya. Concerning Lord Chaitanya, Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32 states, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Shango Pangashra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his devotees, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. After all, human life is meant for pleasing Narayan, and this can easily be done by performing Sankirtan Yajna. Whenever there is congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord, Gora Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his incarnation as Lord Chaitanya, immediately appears in this and is worshipped by Sankirtana Yajna. In this verse, it is said that Narayan is Yasinam Gati, the ultimate goal of sannyasis. The goal of those who have renounced the material world is the attainment of Narayan. A Vaishnava sannyasi therefore dedicates his life to serving Narayan. He does not falsely claim to be Narayan. Instead of becoming nirvaira, non-envious of other living entities, one who tries to become Narayan becomes envious of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the attempt to become Narayan constitutes the greatest offense. Actually, when one chants or discusses the transcendental activities of the Lord, he immediately becomes non-envious. In this material world, everyone is envious of everyone else. But by vibrating or discussing the holy name of the Lord, one becomes non-envious and devoid of material hankering. Because of our envy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we have become envious of all other living entities. When we are no longer envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there will be real peace, unity, and fraternity in human society. Without Narayan or Sankirtan Yagya, there cannot be peace in this material world. 37. Tesham vicharatam padbyam tirtanam pavanechaya vitasya kim narocheta tavakanam samagama. Dear Lord, your personal associates, devotees, wander all over the world to purify even the holy places of pilgrimage. Is not such activity pleasing to those who are actually afraid of material existence? Purport. There are two kinds of devotees. One is called Gostyanandi, and the other is called Bhajananandi. The word Bhajananandi refers to the devotee who does not move but remains in one place. Such a devotee is always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. He chants the Mahamantra as taught by many acharyas, and sometimes goes out for preaching work. The Gostyanandi is one who desires to increase the number of devotees all over the world. He travels all over the world just to purify the world and the people residing in it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised, Pradivite yacheyata nagaradi grama sarvatra prachara haibe mora nama. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted his followers to move all over the world to preach in every town and village. In the Chaitanya Sampradaya, those who strictly follow the principles of Lord Chaitanya must travel all over the world to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya, which is the same as preaching the words of Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. The more the devotees preach the principles of Krishna Katha, the more people throughout the world will benefit. Devotees like the great sage Narada, who travel all over to preach, are called Gostyanandi. Narada Muni is always wandering throughout the universe just to create different types of devotees. Narada even made a hunter a devotee. He also made Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj devotees. Actually, all devotees are indebted to the great sage Narada, for he has wandered both heaven and hell. A devotee of the Lord is not even afraid of hell. He goes to preach the glories of the Lord everywhere, even in hell, because there is no distinction between heaven and hell for a devotee. Narayana parasarve nakutas chana bibhyate svargapvarga narakeshva api tulyartha darshina. A pure devotee of Narayan is never afraid of going anywhere and everywhere. For him, heaven and hell are one and the same. Bhagavatam 6.17.28. Such devotees wandering all over the world deliver those who are actually afraid of this material existence. Some people are already disgusted with material existence, being confused and frustrated by material enjoyment. And some people who are intelligent are interested in understanding the Supreme Lord. Both may take advantage of the pure devotee who wanders throughout the world. When a pure devotee goes to a place of pilgrimage, he desires to purify that holy place of pilgrimage. Many sinful men bathe in the holy waters of the places of pilgrimage. They take their baths in the waters of the Ganges and Yamuna at places such as Prayag, Vrindavan, and Mathura. In this way, the sinful men are purified, but their sinful actions and reactions remain at the holy places of pilgrimage. When a devotee comes to take his bath at those places of pilgrimage, the sinful reactions left by the sinful men are neutralized by the devotee. Tirti kurvanti tirtani svantastena gadhabrata. Bhagavatam 1.13.10. Because the devotee always carries the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, wherever he goes becomes a place of pilgrimage. a holy place for understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is therefore the duty of everyone to associate with the pure devotee and thus attain freedom from material contamination. Everyone should take advantage of the wandering devotees whose only business is to deliver conditioned souls from the clutches of Maya. Text 38. Vayam tu sakshad bhagavan bhavasya priyasya sakyukshana sangamena sudushchikitasya bhavasya mrityur bisaktamam tvadyagatim gatasma. Dear Lord, by virtue of a moment's association with Lord Shiva, who is very dear to you and who is your most intimate friend, we were fortunate to attain you. You are the most expert physician capable of treating the incurable disease of material existence. On account of our great fortune, we have been able to take shelter at your lotus feet. Purport. It has been said, Harim vina namritam taranti. Without taking shelter at the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, one cannot attain relief from the clutches of Maya, the repetition of birth, old age, disease, and death. The Pracetās received the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the grace of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the supreme devotee of Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. The most exalted Vaishnava is Lord Shiva, and those who are actually devotees of Lord Shiva follow Lord Shiva's advice and take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. The so-called devotees of Lord Shiva, who are simply after material prosperity, are in a way deceived by Lord Shiva. He does not actually deceive them because Lord Shiva has no business deceiving people, but because the so-called devotees of Lord Shiva want to be deceived, Lord Shiva, who is very easily pleased, allows them all kinds of material benedictions. These benedictions might ironically result in the destruction of so-called devotees. For instance, Ravana took all material benediction from Lord Shiva, but the result was that he was ultimately destroyed with his family, kingdom, and everything else because he misused Lord Shiva's benediction. Because of his material power, he became very proud and puffed up so that he dared kidnap the wife of Lord Ramchandra. In this way, he was ruined. To get material benedictions from Lord Shiva is not difficult, but actually these are not benedictions. The Pracetās received benediction from Lord Shiva, and as a result, they attained the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. This is real benediction. The gopis also worshipped Lord Shiva in Vrindavan, and the Lord is still staying there as Gopishvara. The gopis, however, prayed that Lord Shiva bless them by giving them Lord Krishna as their husband. There is no harm in worshipping the demigods, provided that one's aim is to return home back to Godhead. Generally, people go to the demigods for material benefit, as indicated in Bhagavad Gita 7.20. Kamaistastar huta jnana prapadyante nyadevata tam tam niyamam astaya prakritya niyatasvaya. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. One enamored by material benefits is called Hrita Gyan, one who has lost his intelligence. In this connection, it is to be noted that sometimes in the revealed scriptures, Lord Shiva is described as being non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The point is that Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are so intimately connected that there is no difference in opinion. The actual fact is Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arashaba Britya. The only Supreme Master is Krishna, and all others are his devotees or servants. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 5.142. This is the real fact, and there is no difference of opinion between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu in this connection. Nowhere in revealed scriptures does Lord Shiva claim to be equal to Lord Vishnu. This is simply the creation of the so-called devotees of Lord Shiva who claim that Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are one. This is strictly forbidden in the Vaishnav Tantra. Yastu Narayanam Devam. Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma are intimately connected as master and servants. Shiva Virinchi Nutam. Vishnu is honored and offered obeisance by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. To consider that they are all equal is a great offense. They are all equal in the sense that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all others are his eternal servants. And thus ends our reading for today. We'll continue from text 39 through 34 on Monday. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai.
Jai.
All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees, Sama Bhaktivedanta Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Navadvip Dham ki Jai, Mayapur Dham ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju ki Jai.
Jai.
Ganga Mai, Yamuna Mai ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Giri Govardhan, Gupta Govardhan Dham ki Jai, Shyam Kund, Radha Kund ki Jai, Tulsi Devi, Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Jai Srimad Hari, Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki Jai, Jai Scientific Sankirtan Yagya ki Jai, Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol. Jai Srimati Uma Devi Dasi ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Sripad Krishna Keshav Prabhu Ji ki Jai.
Jai Gurudev. Dandavat Didi.